Alright you guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the channel. So today, we're gonna be working on the STI, getting this thing ready for its first drive. So I got my tires delivered yesterday. I'll show you guys that in a minute. I got my wheel spacers delivered today. My extended wheel studs, since we're running wheel spacers. So I gotta swap out all my wheel studs today, which I'm not looking forward to doing. We're only doing the fronts because to do the back wheel studs, you gotta take off the hub. Not something I wanna do. But there's some things on this car that we need to get done before we go drive it. Like I can pull it in and out of the driveway, but right now that's about the extent of what I can do. So call me Arby's because we got the meats, baby. I got the tires in for the STI, so I don't need to run those, but I'll probably run those for now if I don't get these mounted. But the goal is to go get these mounted tonight when Melanie gets home, because there's no way I'm fitting all 4 of these and all 4 of our wheels back there into the BRZ. So these are 275/35/18 DW Continental Extreme Contact Plus. This is their summer tire. This is a big tire, you guys. This is 275. So these should be able to give us the grip we need with the STI here. Now, there is still some air in the cooling system of this car, and the only reason I know that is because the other day when it was idling, temps were getting up and they were climbing a little bit. So I have a feeling that there's still more air in the system, so I'm gonna have to burp and bleed that here soon. We also gotta fix the driver's seat because the driver's seat is extremely loose right now. I don't know what I did wrong when I mounted this thing up, but I have a feeling it's just not like fully tightened down. The whole driver's seat shakes and it really shouldn't be doing that. Bam! Then we got our wheel studs like I was talking about. I got a Fumoto drain valve for this car. I need to order some more brake-in fluid tonight for it, so that way we can do our first oil change after 50 miles. I got our hub-centric spacers. And then on top of that, I want to give a huge shout out to Perrin Performance, actually, because they actually sent up just a random goodie bag for stuff for the BRZ and the STI. And one of my favorite things in here is actually the shift knob. I'm going to be putting this on the STI. They had it custom engraved to where it says "It's Alive" on the top, and then on the bottom it has Perrin's logo, and on the other side it says Smeedia. So huge shout out to Perrin. They also sent up like a master cylinder brace. I believe these are trunk stops. I'm not entirely sure on those. Some beauty washers. I believe these are beauty bolts. A battery tie down for the BRZ in there. Top of that, another shift knob. I have one in the BRZ right now that I was playing with, but I really like this one. I just wish it was a little bit smaller. But aside from that, huge shout out to Perrin. And then the last thing we got to do in this video is go ahead, pull off our dump tubes. I need to mark them, or I'm going to trim them down a little bit, and then I got to Cerakote them. So I think the first thing I'm going to start with, since it's like still in the afternoon, is bleeding the cooling system a little bit more in the STI. It's been a couple days since I've started the car. Oh, and I'm getting a weird engine light for throttle body correlation. It's something to do with voltage, so I may have to go down there, fix a couple of wires while I have the seat out and we're fixing the seat. But for now, I think we start things off with bleeding the cooling system, just since most people are at work and this thing's like stupid loud. You guys know this thing's stupid loud, so let me get the STI started. Let me pull it out of the garage here. Actually, let me get the coolant funnel put on first, and then we'll pull it out of the garage. Oh yeah, we're like super low on coolant. Yeah, I can physically see it's low in there. Alright, I haven't started this thing in a couple days, so I don't know if it'll start first try, but we'll find out. I'm gonna let it idle for a little bit to try to get any more bubbles out of the cooling system. So enjoy me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna set the camera down for a sec. Okay, so I'm having a weird issue with the throttle pedal. It's throwing check engine lights for it. It could have something to do with the wiring. I'm gonna have to go back in and see what's going on with it. But every time I try to give it like above like 15% throttle, it immediately goes into engine protection mode, kills the throttle, and it's just open enough to keep the car running. I don't know why it's doing it, but I'm gonna turn the car back on, just let it idle for a little bit, try to get out more of those bubbles out of the cooling system, but we can't drive the car until I figure that out, so we have a laundry list of shit we gotta get done. And for some reason, coolant temps just keep climbing. Like they got up to 206 just idling, which is they should not get that high when idling. I don't know if I need to add an external radiator, like another heat exchanger, maybe do a cylinder 4 cooling mod. Maybe that'll help drop coolant temps, because the coolant temps, that's the biggest problem with these EGs, and that's the biggest thing that we're gonna have to fight is coolant temperature. I don't know, maybe I'll add a very small push fan on the front of the I don't have any more. I could wire in another fan. Maybe I add in another fan for push, so we have 2 pull, 1 push. I don't quite know yet. And things are only gonna get hotter in here once we have a heat exchanger up here for the oil cooler. So I gotta figure out this coolant situation and see why it's getting as high as it is. We also need to figure out that throttle pedal issue. So as much as I want to go try to drive the car right now, you guys, I can't. There's still things that we have to do to get to that point, which we're gonna start doing today. So while the engine starts to cool down, I think the first thing we'll jump on is the wheel studs, just to get those knocked out. And then once we have the wheel studs and the wheel spacers on there, we can get the Evo wheels off. To do wheel studs, it's really not bad on Subarus specifically, so. I went through, I got all the wheels ready to be mounted, so that was just me going through there getting the valve stems on them. I just like to put the valve stems on versus letting the tire shop do it, or in our case the dealer, because we're having the dealer install these tires for us because they're open late enough. It just mitigates more risk or more potential for a tech to accidentally scratch them. I know it doesn't always happen, but it does happen. And on top of that, I actually couldn't get the ARP wheel studs in because there's just not enough room. You have to actually remove the front hubs to be able to get these ones in. The ones I have on there now are extended wheel studs. They're just not as long as I would like. So in the future, we'll pull the wheel hubs off. We'll just do all 20 of them on the car all at the same time. So I'll order 2 more packs. I'll keep them here on standby, and then we can just do all the wheel studs all at once. So, and I have the Evo wheels and the other STI wheels off the car, and I've got everything like stacked up nicely behind. So when Melanie comes home, we can go get those mounted, balanced, put on the car, and then we have our wheels and tires finally ready for the Subaru. I guess I just ended up not needing the 19s. I thought I would need them a lot sooner. I thought they'd clear and we could drive the car the other day, but with the throttle pedal issue we're having, it's just not gonna happen. So now that the wheel tire and wheel stud issue is taken care of. Oh, I just went through, I reseated all the wheel studs, by the way, instead of swapping them since I couldn't get them out. So now that we've got all that done, I'm just gonna leave the car on jack stands for now. I'm actually gonna go down here, rip the bumper off. I'm gonna take our dump tubes off right there. I'm gonna mark them where I wanna cut them, get them cut, get them like trimmed up nicely, Scotch-Brite them down, and then get those Cerakoted, so that way those can sit for 2 or 3 days, curing, then we can get those back on the car permanently as well. I just wanna get the last of the Cerakoting done, and now that I know I'm sticking with these dump tubes, we're gonna go with those ones. So let's rip this bumper off, let's get those dump tubes off. Be free. Probably about like right here, to be honest. Should move down. Right there. Dude, dump tubes came out looking awesome. Just like all the other exhaust stuff, they will self-level and they will dry. So these, I'll probably just leave them hanging up right here till tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, we'll take them off. We'll get them bolted onto the car, or bolted back onto the wastegates. These need at least, I want to say it's 72 hours or a week full cure. I know it's like cure after 12 hours or something like that. And then like a full cure after a week. So we're gonna let these chill and sit. We are good to go take these to the shop to go get these mounted and balanced. So let me back the GTI up into the driveway. Let's get all this loaded up into the GTI. Let's go swing down and get these things set up so that way we can get them on our Subaru for good. Okay, GTI. God, it's so much rain, man. Oh my God, it's not. Ah. Oh, thank you, windshield wipers. Ah, good old Volkswagen. Okay, there's 2 wheels. There's 2 more wheels. Question of the day, can you fit 4 wheels and tires into GTI? I don't think you can. Now we're off to get these things mounted, balanced. We'll come back, we'll get them on the car permanently. And then all that's left to do before we try to drive this thing is fix that throttle issue and figure out this cooling system issue. So we'll be back in X amount of time. I don't know quite how long it's going to take for this, so we'll just be back at some. Alright, boys and girls, we're a couple hours in the future. Wheels and tires are all mounted up. I gotta say, those 275s fill out those wheels beautifully. I wanna see what they look like on the car tomorrow. Because it's like 9 o'clock right now. I'm not gonna keep working tonight. I'm gonna chill a little bit, but I wanna get the wheels on the car tonight, just see what they look like tomorrow. I'm actually gonna pop them back off, so that way I can ceramic coat them, because white wheels need ceramic coating, I promise you that. But let's get these things on, let me show you what they look like. Dude, legit, these tires fill out these wheels so nicely. I used to, the same size, I used to run a 235, or was it 240? It might have been a 245 35 18, and they were definitely stretched. These 275s are quite meaty on here. I'm really glad I went with a 35 sidewall. I was debating going to a 40, but I think the 35 is honestly pretty perfect. So let's get these things on. Man, these things look so fucking good right now. Let's get them on the car. I want to see what they look like again. I want to see blue back with white shoes again. Alright guys, so it's the next day, but I wanted to wait just to be able to show you guys just with a little bit better light. These things are so freaking meaty, the 275s. The wheel itself doesn't stick out that far. It's the tire that sticks out far, and it is beautiful. So the 275s should be able to give us enough grip and enough traction for what we're going to be doing. These are street wheels, by the way. These are not these are not bead locks or anything like that. We still need to get a set of bead locks in the future. But the next thing on the list for this car is suspension, because as you guys can see, we have massive wheel gap there. I need to run just a hair of camber, just a little bit, not much, both in the front and the back. The front, I have 5mm spacers on, so the wheels can clear the brakes. In the rears, no spacers, and you guys can see they stick out a little bit. My fenders are already rolled and pulled from when this car used to be bagged. So next up, I'm gonna toss these dump tubes back on real quick now that they are for the most part cured. I can at least get them back on the car. Then I'm gonna jump over to the seat thing, so that way I can get this seat fixed and we can start fiddling with that throttle body issue, because I believe it's on the pedal side and not the actual throttle body side. So let's get these guys on real quick. Now they match everything else too, they look good. Oh no, Tanner, why would you do that? That dump tubes won't scrape on anything. And they look better Cerakoted. Alright, seat, I need you to come out. Hey, come on out of here, my friend. I gotta figure out what's going on with you. Oh my god, I'm banging the car all up. So I got the seat set up again. If it still wobbles once I get it installed in the car, I'm gonna swap the race quips for the Sparkos that are in the Evo and do vice versa with them. So I don't think it'll move anymore, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna go hop online and do a little bit of research as to why we're having these throttle body issues that we're having. So let me go hop on Haltech's website real quick, see what the troubleshooting actually is for them, and we'll come back out and go from there. Okay, now before I go ripping out wiring and redoing wiring, I'm gonna try recalibrating the throttle body first. Sometimes it's in the software and it's something that I did. So let me try playing with the actual calibration, the wiring tab, making sure everything's still set up properly, and then we'll go from there, because it should be working. If I have to rewire it or double check wiring, I will. I have the printouts on my phone now. So let me try playing with stuff a little bit. Of course, I have no seat in here right now, so that's always lovely. 5 codes. Oh my God, a lot of codes. What do we have now? Engine protection, oil pressure, throttle body, throttle body, throttle body, throttle body, throttle body. Fully depress the accelerator pedal and click the calibration button to continue. Ensure the accelerator pedal is not depressed, then click calibrate. I think that's good. Let's try the throttle body again. Verifying. So is calibration good on both of them?
You're calling the Heltec USA West office. If you know your party's extension, you can dial it at any time. For sales, press 1. For technical support, press 2. To reach Tim Anderson, press
the P2 135 for throttle is a defensive correlation for voltage. And I was curious if you guys have seen or run into this issue before or any common solutions or what you guys might. All right, I found the problem. So I had to call Heltec just to verify. So there's 2 voltages, and I'll show you guys this here in a second. There's accelerator pedal 1 and 2 signals that go to the accelerator pedal, obviously, and then the same thing with the throttle body. Those 2 voltages should be doing the opposite of each other. As one rises, the other should fall. And as the other falls, the other should rise. Now with my throttle pedal, they both do the exact same thing. They're both on the low end, so I need to figure out which one of those is actually the high input and fix that. And then our throttle body issue should be fixed, and I should actually be able to rev the car now and not just idle, because right now that's all it does is idle. So let me turn you back on. Activate, activate. Now with the car in accessory mode, you guys can see this now. So the top 2 are good. The DBW TPS input 1 is 0.9 volts, DBW input 2 is 4.05. On the bottom though, you can see that they're doing the exact same thing. They're both at 0.05 volts and they shouldn't be. So that tells me that the input 2 is actually on the low side when it should be on the high side. So I need to go back down there, stare at some wiring diagrams and fix that. So let's go fix our throttle pedal so that way we might be able to drive it today. If I can fix this issue and get the cooling system sorted, we might be able to go drive it today. If not, it will probably be in the next video, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do what I can today to try to get this working. So I just hopped off the phone with Heltec's customer support in Australia. Really cool dudes, like 10 out of 10 customer support to them. They legit took over my laptop and started doing wizardry. He adjusted some of the parameters in the map also, just to make things a little bit happier. We went back and forth. It was very difficult to hear him, so if you ever see this, I do apologize. I know it's very loud. We're working on that. So I'm actually gonna get the driver's seat tossed back in real quick, pull this thing out. I'm gonna let it warm up again. I'm gonna give it a couple baby revs, and I wanna see what it does. See if the throttle body codes come back. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Okay, well the seat thing didn't get fixed, so let's hope that our revving thing did get fixed. So let's pull this out, let's let it warm up, and let's try to give it a couple baby revs and see if it wants to be stupid or if it wants to cooperate. I ran out of gas. Ran out of gas. Ran out of gas. Great. Yeah, I ran out of gas. I know what's wrong with it. I ain't got no gas in it. Like, yeah, my ethanol percentage went down to like 4%. So I ain't got no gas. I ain't got no gas in it. So I know I'm like 95% confident that we'll be good now. The dude from Heltec seemed to take over, do all the stuff that he needed to do to get things back to where they needed to be. So in the next video, well, we've prepped the car. It's ready for the first drive now. I just gotta go get gas tomorrow. Not gonna stress it tonight. It's too dark anyways. It's too rainy. Not gonna try to drive the car in the dark and the rain. So with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. Everyone wants to see me send the car right now. Totally get it. Totally understand. But we gotta work out all the small issues before we can actually go do fun stuff with the car. So we're working at it though. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be one of these corners, no idea which one I'm going to put it in quite yet. But with that, I got to push this car back in. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.